YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to discuss about one of the three primal things that we have to do in the case of our survival situation is the ability to make some fire quickly and reliably. So in the community there's going to be a lot of people are going to say, buy the good stuff, for making fire, the fire tinder. And in other ways itself, for all the DYIs guys and the minimalist, well, they're gonna say basically, guys, you don't need it, and basically it is a waste of money. Either on one side itself that you don't have the time for making such devices itself, or on the other side itself that you don't have the money for making it. Well, I think so that on my personal point of view, if you got few items itself that are coming from the kitchen and mommy is allowing you to use eat the barbecue outside, that's going to make you a little bit way much easier. It's going to induce less fumes inside the house, and everybody's going to be happy at the end of the day. So basically, you're going to need, I would say, maybe a good 4 hours and a little bit of material that I'm going to show you. But first and foremost itself, I'm going to divide this video into two kinds. The first one is I'm going to show you all the fire tinder that you can buy that are cheap. So because making fire shouldn't cost you a fortune. And on the other side itself, it's the fire tinder that you're going to be able to make. And I'm going to discuss a little bit. I'm not going to go into details because there's a lot of websites that are going to explain you how to do a lot of fire tinders, but I'm going to explain you the way that I'm doing it and why I'm doing multiple of them on the different types. So this way, if I've got a situation where the only thing that I'm available to have is a ferro rod because I'm all wet and I soaked, in the water, and I've been submerged in cold water, in the winter situation. Well, the big lighter might not work. So this is why, I think so that it should be to your advantage to use multiple sources of fire material itself that are going to be able, to at least, produce rapidly the fire tinder that is going to be able, to light up wet wood or any situation kind of a combustible material, because it can be wooden pellet if you're in an urban survival situation. So God knows what's going to happen to you, but at least you're going to have some options. Okay, so let's verify it, and I'm going to show you where I'm starting. All right, stay tuned. Okay, the first fire starter itself material that I'm going to refer you, it's going to be wet fire. You can easily buy it. I think so far, a pack of 8, you can buy it for $12. These are not coming cheap. And basically what it's got inside, it's a flammable material itself that can be turned into a powder, and it can be scraped, okay, and after that it can be lit. So basically these cubes are going to last you for about, I would say, maybe 5 or 6 minutes. That's in the good condition. So, but it's very reliable. It's waterproof, and that's basically what everybody tried to replicate. So that's one part. The other one that I would like to recommend you, and this is from a Quebec company which is called Flix-O, and it is a fire starter. Basically, it's look like sawdust mixed with wood, and for every single chunks of it, it's got 14 cubes, but one single cube can last you up to 10 minutes. So this one's, I'm buying it at the Dollar Mart store, which is not a dollar store, but kind of, and you can buy it for, I think so it was $1.50. So the whole brick is $1.50. There's also the fire starter itself right here. The fire starter here is basically that's 12 pieces. It costs a box, and that's cheap. That's cheap. I would say paper that is basically soaked in wax, and it works. And it's mixed with sawdust also, but it's kind of on the cheap side. For testing itself, I don't know if it's going to be really waterproof, but anyway, so you can buy it, you know, for $1. So just letting you know, that's good to know. So all three items right here, you're being able to buy them. And they're, you know, they're pretty effective, especially, you know, with wet fire. But you know, there's also all sorts of material that you can build, and this is what I wanted to show you, is with basically a little bit of components like petroleum jelly, okay, which is going to cost you $1. After that, you can get some sawdust from, you know, any wood shop. So this is coming from my father-in-law. You can have also shaving residues, you know, from sawmill or something like that. After that, good wax, okay. And after that, basically the cotton balls here, the cotton balls and the cotton pads, you can buy them at dollar store. So you got basically 300 for $1. Here you got 100, and I did bought these ones, you know, at Dollar Mart as well, and basically they are ice cube. So you got different shapes, and this is why when I'm making them. So if you're looking at it's going to be like, if you're looking at Dave Canterbury Mini Inferno, I've been able to replicate kind of what Dave's got, and they're pretty cheap. So basically, you know, it's wax, cotton pads, and petroleum jelly. And what I'm doing is, first and foremost, is I'm taking a pad and I'm melting with the trays itself. I'm melting on the barbecue. I'm melting the petroleum jelly and the wax. And after that, as soon as it's liquefied, completely liquefied, what I'm doing is I'm soaking these pads inside the petroleum jelly. And after that, I am letting it refrigerate for a few minutes on aluminum plate. And after that, I'm retaking these ones and I'm soaking it very quickly inside the wax 2 times. So I'm doing one dip, and after that I'm waiting and letting it dry. Once again, the wax is going to dry, and after that I'm licking it once again inside the wax for a second dip. And basically these are pretty much this is fun because it's got a lot of surface. So when you got a ferrule rod, you're going to be able to light it up very quickly. And by the way, there's another thing that you should always have is dryer's lint with you. You're just taking the dryer's lint, you know, from your dryers. And I'm making also these kinds of pads. So I've got a cotton ball filled with petroleum jelly, and the other one is not, you know, is not wet in petroleum jelly. And after that, I got my best fire starter is these ones itself. It's the lint. So usually, if I got this, I'm gonna use the lint and I'm gonna put it on it, and I'm gonna light it up, and very quickly, you know, it's gonna dry up. So that's another thing that you can make. These ones are not costing a lot. I'm putting them in Ziploc bags. You know, I'm making a lot of these, and I'm putting them in Ziploc bags, and after that, I'm good. Another thing that I like to do is with these ones, I call them B-52s. Because they look like a B-52, you know, they look like pretty much it. And basically is what I'm doing is I'm putting sawdust inside my cup, and I'm filling up with lighter fluids, the first part. And after that, I am basically filling up with, I'm just putting lighter fluid right in the middle, okay? Not on the sides, but right in the middle. And after that, I'm pouring the melted wax on it, and I'm letting it sear. And after that, what I'm doing is I'm using a cotton ball soaked with Vaseline, and I'm putting it on the top, and I re-soak everything. Once everything has settled down, I'm re-soaking it, and it's making me a kind of a cube like that. And this is very fun because after a while you're going to find out that the lighter fluid is going to stick on the top right here, and it's not going to be completely sealed in wax. So what I'm doing is, once again, I'm dipping it once again in the hot wax at the end of the process once everything is cooled down. I'm using the fridge basically, you know, to cool down everything. And what's fun about it is basically this part is very porous, so you're able to press it with your thumb and you're squashing it, you know. But the wax, what it's doing is it's preventing, you know, the lighter fluids from evaporating. And so basically, you know, when you're squashing it, you got a nice flammable material and it's burned pretty much like a candle, and you can light it up from the top and everything's gonna do fine. So once again, I'm using the lint and I'm good to go. These ones, I just tested them and they last for about 12 minutes, which is quite good, and it's producing a lot of heat, so I love it. But always remember that if you're in an emergency survival situation itself, you won't sometimes, you know, if you're falling down on thin ice, well, you won't have the ability, you know, and the dexterity itself to use the big lighter because it's going to be soaked wet. So you're gonna have to use a ferro rod, and that's when, you know, sometimes using this pad and link with this on the top, well, you know, you got a pretty good. You're starting with this itself, and you're putting the lint on it, and you just use your ferro rod and you lighten up very quickly. And after that, once everything is lit, you just, you know, you're pressing on it and you're lighting it up, you're putting it there, and after that you start to put your bundles of woods and or your pallet or whatsoever that you got in hand that you're just going to be able to produce and induce a fire, and you're going to be all good. So basically that's my trick, and I'm going to tell you frankly, you know, I got some fun for making them. It's real deal, and what's nice about them is I'm using a bigger plate like that, and I'm trying different recipes and with different lighter fluids and basically ignition fluids, and it works. So, you know, I would recommend you to test them and try to figure it out, and I hope so that you're gonna have as much as fun as I do building these. And frankly, they're very cheap, reliable, and efficient. So basically my thought, do we really have to buy the wet fire, which is going to be, you know, expensive and everything? Well, you know, we can discuss about it. But basically, you know, if I'm buying at the dollar store, you know, that's $1, another $1, and after that, that's free, and the lint is free. You know, personally, this is reliable fire sources. So my personal choice would be, you know, that I do recommend you to spend your money on health things, you know, like a good water filtration system, which is going to be way much more important than having some wet fires. Yes, I would. So anyway, that was my thoughts and minds about fire making. There's a lot of nice videos that you can watch. And there's a lot of great stuff that this is a DYI projects. So guys, that's it for today. So thank you very much for everything, and I hope so that you did enjoy the video. If you got some comments, well, perfect. And please subscribe. This is a new channel, guys, and I'm trying to link a little bit. You know, I'm trying to make a big resume on all the fire making material itself, so you got only one video channel, you know, to watch, and after that, you know, you got the words for everything that you can use here, and you can do some experimentation elsewhere. So thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.